Welcome, Gemini, to your 2024 horoscope. In this horoscope, I will be walking you through each month of 2024, giving you a really good understanding of the energy that you will be moving through for the year ahead. Now, if you would like, grab your birth chart. That way, you're able to see if you're having any personal activations throughout the year by comparing the significant degree points that we will be discussing in this horoscope with your personal birth chart. So if you have any personal planets or points at any of the degree points that we are discussing, then you will know that you are having some personal activations. Now let's get into it. So in 2024, we have Pluto re-entering Aquarius. Now we got a taste of what this Pluto and Aquarius energy is going to feel like in 2023 between March and June. However, in 2024, Pluto is going to be spending much more time in Aquarius, giving us a better idea of what this Pluto and Aquarius energy is going to bring us collectively and individually. Now, we also have the eclipses taking place in Aries and Libra, shaking up these areas of our life. We have the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus. We have Jupiter entering Gemini. We have a Mars-Jupiter conjunction in Gemini. And at the end of the year, we have a Mars retrograde in Cancer and Leo, and this energy is going to fall into 2025. And at the end of this horoscope, I touch on some significant energies taking place in 2025 to give you a little bit of a heads up. So let's get right into the year. So starting in January, now I have selected a chart for each month to give you a bit of a visual. Now, January 1st, we have Mercury stationing direct in Sagittarius at 22 degrees, and you have Sagittarius in your seventh house of relationships, partnerships, one-on-one connections. And so at the end of 2023, actually December 13th, we have Mercury stationing retrograde right here in Capricorn. And so the end of 2023, there's something that you are rethinking and reevaluating around relationships, one-on-one connections, and maybe your partner's finances or money coming in from outside resources, maybe psychological healing and transformation. Now, Mercury is your chart ruler, so you feel the Mercury retrogrades maybe more intense, it might be more intense than some of the other signs, right? You and Virgo are both ruled by Mercury. And so Mercury retrogrades are not always necessarily fun for you. However, on January 1st, having that Mercury station direct, once we get into January, you will start to gain clarity on whatever you were reevaluating and rethinking in this area of your life. Now, on January 4th, we have Mars entering Capricorn. And this is actually a really good placement for Mars. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. You have Capricorn in the eighth house of your partner's finances, money coming in from outside resources, taxes, inheritance, psychological healing and transformation. And so now, depending on if you have a day chart or a night chart, is going to depend on how this Mars energy is expressed. So if you're born during the day, Mars is your most malefic planet. And if you're born at night, Saturn is your most malefic planet. So also keep that in mind as we are going through these energies. But having Mars in the eighth house might mean that your partner is experiencing, challenges within their money and their finances, or there may be challenge with having money coming in for some reason. Maybe you're trying to get a loan and there's all these hurdles that you're having to kind of navigate. This can also have to do with, mental health and psychological healing and transformation, and can feel a little intense and a little heavy while having Mars transit that eighth house. Now, on the 11th, we will have our new moon in Capricorn at 20 degrees. So every time we have a new moon and a full moon, and I don't spend too much time on the moons, but every time we have a new moon, this is a perfect time to set intentions for these areas of life. And then at the time of the full moon is when you can see those intentions come to fruition. If you're using the 6-month cycle where, the new moon in that sign, when you have the full moon in that same sign 6 months later, that is when you can see those intentions come to fruition. So also keep that in mind as we're going through these energies. Now, on January 13th, we will have Mercury enter Capricorn. So Mercury is going to re-enter Capricorn, and again, bringing more clarity to whatever you were navigating through that Mercury retrograde. Then on January 19th, 20th, and 21st, we have a Sun-Pluto conjunction at 29 degrees of Capricorn. And then the Sun is going to enter Aquarius, and then a few hours later, Pluto is going to enter Aquarius, and they are going to form a conjunction again at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And so you're getting ready to have Pluto enter that ninth house, and the ninth house represents higher education, higher knowledge, long distance travel, belief systems, philosophy, religion. And so having Pluto transit that ninth house, over the next 20 years, you're probably going to be going through a lot of transformation around your belief systems. Now, this conjunction is quite significant because these are the same degree points that we had the great conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn back in December of 2020. So if you think back to that time period, what you were moving through, there may be revelations, things revealed, fears being transmuted, transformed. And this is also going to be collectively. We were moving through a lot collectively at this time as well. So it's definitely going to be an interesting time. Now, once we get to January 23rd, we have Venus entering Capricorn, bringing more energy into that eighth house. Then we get to the 25th and we have our full moon in Leo at 5 degrees. And you have Leo right here in your third house of community, neighbors, neighborhood, communication, reading, speaking, writing, mindset, vehicles, siblings, cousins. There's quite a lot packed in that third house. And also, again, if you think back 6 months prior, the intentions you were setting at the time of the new moon in Leo, now is when you can see those intentions come to fruition. Then we get to the 26th and we have the Mercury Mars conjunction in Capricorn. And this is a time where we really want to be watching our communication, Mercury ruling communication and our mind, our thoughts. We can be speaking before thinking. What is that? What is that term? Think before you speak. We cannot be doing that at this time. We want to be watching for anger, aggression, and conflict. And then we get to the 27th, and we have Uranus stationing direct right here in your 12th house. And then we get to February. Now, once we get to February, we have all planets direct. It is go time. If you have anything to launch, now is the time to do so because we have the supportive energy. Now, February 5th